So, the Indiana Fever are a basketball team. And a pretty good one. Not gonna lie, a pretty good basketball team. They are a team that has a chance of winning a championship. They are legitimately a team with a chance of winning a ring. And if they do, I would not be surprised. I would genuinely would not be that surprised if the Fever won it all. But if you guys did not see here, Caitlin Clark's Fever boss sees America's team potential. So, yeah, I'm going to be reading this article right here. And, well, we've seen obviously all these parts of this article, but we're going to be talking about one big thing. And it is basically, let's take a look at this. Where is it? It's basically just how they want to play. Okay, I've missed out on that one. Is it the right one? Yeah, so this is right here, and this is the important thing. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing is the basketball. Like, regardless of all the off-the-court stuff, yeah, that's going to be important for the, like, you know, the team and stuff. It's going to be important for this franchise, but doesn't matter as a fan. As you can see here, what should the fans expect from the Fever this year? I think you're going to see a very hungry group of players. First, this is an extremely competitive group. That's number one. Everyone likes to talk about it, but these players really are about that. They're extremely competitive. They love the game. Now, from a style standpoint, we added players that like to play up-tempo and that like to get out and run, score, and transition. And I think you're going to continue to see a fast-paced, really fun environment of basketball on the court that leads to a lot of scoring and a lot of fast-paced play. And that's kind of the expectation that you're getting from that you should be getting from the Indiana Fever. Like, if you look at their team, DeWanna Bonner is not slow. Natasha Howard, that is her game. Her game is literally running hard. That was her when she was at her best, and honestly, that's a little bit of Natasha Howard right now. You're seeing Natasha Howard, she just needs to pick up the defense a little bit, but she runs hard on offense. Like, is she, again, the greatest player in the world? No. Is she going to be a really solid pickup for the Fever? Yeah. Yeah, Natasha Howard is. She's going to be a great pickup for the Indiana Fever. And, like, I think that a lot of people are just kind of almost undervaluing how good she's going to be because the team wants to play fast, because she kind of wasn't great last year with Dallas. Well, Dallas were bad with her. Sophie Cunningham's a player that can play with pace, and if anything, nothing else, she spaces the floor. Damaris Dantas, in her defense, is in the best shape for life. DeWanna Bonner can still give you 22 minutes of running up and down, playing with pace. Aaliyah Boston is the one kind of exception, but she processes the game with pace so that she can kind of be there when things slow down, like, because as much as, like, she's a really good half-court player, really good half-court passer, and obviously you've then got Kelsey Mitchell, who is, I'm trying to think of who's a faster player in the WNBA than Kelsey Mitchell. Who is a faster player? Could it be? Oh, I'm actually genuinely trying to think of a faster player than Kelsey Mitchell. Off the top of my head, I don't know if there's any. Like, Arike is not as fast as Kelsey Mitchell. I genuinely don't know. I actually do not know if there's a player. So, obviously, they have to play that. The thing is, in the half court, they're not the greatest, because as much as Caitlin Clark is a decent half court point guard, but I think she is one of the better half court point guards, but there are better half court point guards than Caitlin Clark. But she is the best in transition. And even in, like, semi-transition, where she's still able to attack downhill. Like, Caitlin Clark very much relies on going downhill, because as good as she is, look, I'll be honest, she's not. She plays like, Caitlin Clark plays at a pace that is almost faster than anyone else when she has the ball. She's relentless. But, like, in terms of actual, like, shiftiness and, you know, stop-start as going by people in the half court, like, She relies on her gravity and her ability to shoot from so deep to do that. But yeah, I think it's fairly obvious that this is how the Fever are going to play. And if the Fever really want to win, they have to just improve. What they have to do is they need to improve the the half court offense. That's something that the Fever, no question about it, have to do. They got to improve that half court offense. And they also have to improve their defense. And they're already the best team in transition. So if they're somehow able to swing that one, like they're somehow able to have a really solid half court defense, really decent or like a slightly below average defense in the half court. There's no reason for the Fever to have been as bad transition defense as they are, because they can at least run. That was just a discipline issue. And they've also now got, potentially, if they can even be, say, if they are the 8th best defensive team and the 4th best half-court offensive team, the Fever can win it all. Genuinely. That is all the Fever need to do. They don't need to be number 1 in everything. That is all they need to do, because they're going to be so good in transition, and like pace will win games. Like we saw it. Like the playoffs last year. Everybody talks about how, the Sun game plan for the Fever. I'm sorry, Christy Sides took the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hands in the playoffs. Like they didn't need to. Christy Sides, they were winning all those games, and as soon as Christy Sides won Coach of the Month, she thought, yeah, this is my coaching that won us this. Not I won Coach of the Month because Caitlin Clark coached the team on the court. Not I won Coach of the Month just sitting there, and they started slowing it down in the playoffs. They played slower. The Connecticut Sun had the slowest pace in the WNBA last year, except in the playoffs when the Fever played with the slowest pace in the WNBA. The Fever. Christy Sides had the Fever playing slow in the playoffs, and there is no scenario where the Fever playing slow is ever going to be good for Indiana. So at least it's good to hear that they're looking to push the floor. They're looking to play fast, because, yeah, it is a very, very, very not great, it was just not great. But at least when they're pushing the floor and they're running, they should not be stoppable. Genuinely, they should not be stoppable. And I think next year, like, teams are going to be scared of Indiana, because not only do they have Caitlin Clark now, they got a team. They got a squad around Caitlin Clark. And they got a coach. So anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.